Hiya, Amy here with Amy's Wares, and I have some quick batch stenciling Christmas cards to share with you. Now, this is the gorgeous new Prim Snowflake. This is part of the November release at A Colorful Life Designs. I'm going to combine this with some pre-made card bases and some pattern paper and colored cardstock to create these beauties. Now, this came together in a snap, was super easy, and I was able to use up some scraps. So this right here is a folder of more blue colored scraps of various cardstocks or pattern paper. I'm making a conscious effort to try and use this stuff up. I created different folders of the different color families just to kind of help me sort them out. But I have found myself actually going to use them, and it has helped me having this sort of organization tool. So I have this cool thin pattern paper with a design on it, various different color blue, inexpensive cardstocks, and I'm going to cut all these down to nice die cut panels. Now this is a stitched edge rectangle die. This is part of a set from LDRS Creative. It's a small woman-owned business in Michigan, and I will run these all off screen to cut these down with this nice finished edge, and it will make them slightly smaller than USA 2, which is 4¼ by 5½. And as you can see here, I have the Hero Hues Unicorn White pigment ink. That's what I'm going to use to put through all of these cards. Now this Prim Snowflake is part of the November release at A Colorful Life Designs. If you aren't familiar, it's a small woman-owned business in Texas. She manufactures all these herself, so when you order from her, not only do you make her day, but she is going to hand make, hand weed, hand send out all of these things directly to you. So I'm going to put this pigment ink, I have this little designated foam taped to the bottom of it, but I'm basically just going to pounce this white ink through this gorgeous snowflake stencil. Like I said, this is part of the November release. Tons of stencils to choose from. There are tons of previous release snowflakes in the shop, which are some of my absolute favorite. But this makes for such a quick and easy holiday or winter inspired card. So I'm just kind of wiggling it in there. I have quite a bit of pigment ink down on this blending foam. You can probably do this with a blending brush. I don't tend to prefer using my Distress Oxides or pigment inks with blending brushes, but you could use whatever implement works best for you, or those new like pouncing tools that I think I've seen that Pink Fresh put out. I'm not sure. But anyway, that completes this first panel. You can see this nice, beautiful design transferred right over. Now you will want to let these sit for a while if you're using pigment ink, because as you know, it's going to take a while to dry. So I'm not even going to clean it. I'm just going to reposition it on the next one and go through all the panels this way, really super quick. So this is a way to really kind of batch and create a bunch of cards quickly without a huge time commitment. So just doing the same thing here. I've got it kind of sped up to not bore you to death, but you get the idea, and you can kind of line it up differently on the composition or in the same general area. But I'm just going to do the same thing for all of these. Now this one I'm showing you because it does have the design. It's going to add a little bit a different look to it because some of the design is going to kind of poke through. So the pigment ink is obviously more opaque than a dye ink because it's going to sit on top of the paper rather than soaking in, but it is still translucent enough that you will still kind of pick up that cool design from the pattern paper. So this is a really fun way to use up some pattern paper in your stash. Maybe you have some pattern paper that isn't your favorite, but you can modify it with the stencil and totally change the look and then still be able to use it. Now this is my storage solution. I put all my sentiment strip type sentiments and then also my Christmas ones into this binder. And these are baseball card pocket protector sheets. I do have this binder system for a lot of my organization. I have one for my critters that are already stamped and colored out and ready to go, one for my regular die cuts, and then like I said, this one for the sentiment strips in the holiday. So I'm just kind of going through, flipping through my options, but as you saw in the photo, I did end up using more of a sentiment strip style. Now these sentiment strips are from another small business called LDRS Creative. I mentioned them before, but they created that cool die cut edge as well as these sentiment strips, and I will pop them up with a thin foam strip that I get from Amazon on the back just to give it some dimension, but otherwise it's a pretty simple card. Now you can see I did attach all these panels directly down onto the card base. That's a 120-pound accent opaque, and I'm just kind of trimming these down to size, and I'll figure out which ones go with which design. And then to finish it off, I'm just going to use these little clear resin droplets that I get also from Amazon with my liquid glue, Barely Arts glue, and my jewel picker tool. So This is a really quick way, good way to use up pattern paper, use up scraps, use up colored cardstock, all those things that we tend to kind of have too much of and don't always necessarily know how to use. So put it to use for your holiday cards if you need to batch a bunch of these. This will work out great. And these snowflake designs are just perfect for this sort of layout. So if you found this helpful, please hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing. Be sure to check out the rest of the November release. It is absolutely gorgeous, and use my coupon AmyFan10 if you shop, and you'll save 10% on your complete order. So thank you so much for spending time with me today. I hope your Christmas holiday card process is going well, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.